Okay, great. This is 2:05 p.m. already, and we are glad to have you join us for today's webinar. We hope and believe that we'll have more people join us along the line. Good afternoon once again. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening from wherever you are. So I'm speaking from Nigeria. I don't know if everyone is from Nigeria, so we're in the afternoon here in Nigeria. So good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for taking your time to be on this call with us. And today we know we'll be looking at how to attract investors into our business, of us are business owners, and we want to really learn one or few things. But before that, I want to welcome everyone. We are all special people, and thank you once again for joining us. And straightforward, I would love to go into introducing Africa to every one of us. I know some of us before coming on this call, when you got the probably the invitation or when you saw where you're going to register, you would have gone around to okay, who is Africa? What do they do? What do they stand for? What do they want to, you know? I know you'll have, but we would love to share some few things with you about Africa, and permit me to share my screen with you so that I can get to know Africa together. Please, if you can see my screen, just let me know. Please, can anybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Oh, pardon me. Before
You
I
can
go
see
ahead
your
to
screen.
introduce, all right, thank you, sir. My name is Adewale Kehinde, and I am the marketing and media and communication manager for Africa. And
Give it.
uh, please, if please, can every other person just mute their mic so that there are no interference in communication. Thank you very much. Please let's mute our mics. I beg of us. Okay, thank you very much. Once again, my name is Adewale Kehinde, and I'm the marketing and media and communications manager for Africa, and I will be the one moderating today's webinar. So quickly, let me tell us what Africa is. Africa as a whole, we have the meaning of Africa itself is educating Africans. And here we have Africa as a dynamic social enterprise committed to fostering entrepreneurship and leadership among young Africans. Yeah, that is what our aim is. That is what we do as an organization. We foster entrepreneurship and leadership among young Africans. And this is what we believe in. We believe in the power of innovation as a brand. We believe in the power of innovation and strategic guidance to transform ideas into impactful ventures. And that is why we've called you together. So, okay, let's have this webinar from ideas that you can convert, you can transform to impactful ventures. Then our mission is to empower young entrepreneurs with the tools, resources, and support they need to unlock their potential and achieve success. Yes, that's what we aim at doing. Then apart from bridge the gap between ambition and opportunity, connecting aspiring entrepreneurs with experienced business consultants, just as we are connecting you with through our webinars, and also after our webinars, we do this to ensure that you're meeting up with people who will put you through the right way to go where your business is concerned and the likes. Then entrepreneurs can find the perfect grant of fellowship and receive expert guidance to turn their applications into winning proposals. Business consultants, in turn, can showcase their expertise to a vast network of entrepreneurs that are eager for their insights and support. At Africa, we are dedicated to creating a thriving entrepreneurial ecosystem that drives economic growth and sustainable development across Africa. So join us today, become an African, and be a part of this movement that champions innovation, leadership, and success. Okay. So few of the things we have done, like I mentioned earlier, this is our mission statement, which is towards a continent where youths believe and exhibit right entrepreneurial and leadership values. Our vision is what we see is a continent with accountable leaders and value-driven entrepreneurs. What solution? Our solutions is entrepreneurs and consultants and the corporate ones. Now, this is our solutions that we have. We have tailored them in such a way for SMEs and entrepreneurs, and as well as consultants. Now, today we are dealing with we are dealing with entrepreneurs, and this we have here is you find the ideal funding opportunity or fellowship to accelerate entrepreneurial success. So this is supported by expert guidance. We have people who guide you the way to go about it as a business owner. Okay, you have an idea. Okay, how do you, maybe you want to pitch your idea? Just like today's webinar is all about you getting to know how to attract investors to your business. So that's what we are doing. Then this is how to use our platform. Okay, this is for consultant, pardon me. Okay, these are our programs. We have entrepreneurial skills program, consultant scaling programs, leadership and digital scaling programs. Those are the programs we have. Then so far so good. Our milestones as an organization, we have 5,000 plus community members, 20,000 plus SMEs that has been supported by our company. Then we have 200 businesses, more than 200 business consultants that has been onboarded on EDFRICA consultant platform. We have more than 350,000 USD that has been accessed by SMEs like yours through EDFRICA platform. Yeah, we have Premier Entrepreneurship Vox Pop says, yes, you if you go on our platform, you go on our social media platforms as well, on our website, you get to see Entrepreneurship Vox Up videos that you can hear from people on the streets, you learn from them. Then our journey so far as a company, we have leadership in 2017, we had a leadership conference. In 2019, we had Ogun SME conference. In 2020, we held a growth series webinar. 2021, we had the entrepreneurship ecosystem support and partnership program. In 2023, we had cross-continent linkage program. Then we had to give support to 50 entrepreneurship support organizations. Then in this year, 2024, so far, we've had funding news and media platform, then business incubation cohorts for business owners. And today we are going to be looking, like I said earlier, we'll be looking at how do you attract investors to your business. I know a lot of us had come with our notepads to put down things, to put down the okay, how do we learn? How do I do this? Yes. And today we have a great speaker among us who will be taking us through that part to learn how to attract investors. And I would love to introduce him. I'd love to please let me stop sharing so I can be share, because yeah, I'd love to share a profile of our facilitator for today with us in person of Mr. Jonathan Sobowale. This is Mr. Jonathan Sobowale. Hope you can all still see my screen.
No.
Can you see my screen?
No.
I'm seeing the current one. Meet our speaker.
Yes, that is what I'm currently sharing with us.
I can see it. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm trying to so that we can meet Mr. Jonathan Sobowale, who is a international business development and management consultant. So a brief about Mr. Sobowale. He's an experienced international business development and management consultant with over 18 years of expertise in driving business growth, sustainability, and financial performance. He specializes in investment strategy, business development, and entrepreneurship training. In 2024, Mr. Jonathan has led an organizational performance improvement needs assessment for EFA International, working with cooperatives and farmers groups in Nigeria to identify gaps and enhance their access to innovative financing. Yeah, previously from 2020 to 2023, Mr. Jonathan Sobowale worked with USAID, Feed the Future projects, helping over 50 agro-based MSMEs improve their operational and financial standards. He has also provided leadership and training under USAID COVID-19 Food Security Challenge. He has played a key role in establishing the Student Entrepreneurship Activity Hub, C-Hub, which teaches entrepreneurship to secondary school students. C-Hub, in short, has expanded to over 250 chapters across 5 Nigerian states. Mr. Jonathan Sobowale has worked with various organizations such as the USAID, GIZ, EDFA International, UNDP, and many more. His contributions including supporting women cooperatives in the shea nut butter industry, have strengthened SMEs, cooperatives, and farmers groups, making him a highly sought after consultant. His work consistently delivers measurable and sustainable outcomes across Nigeria. Please, can we make welcome this afternoon to take us on how we can attract investors to our business. Mr. Jonathan Sobowale. Please, before he comes in, I just please, can we just celebrate him as he comes up? Yes, yeah, thank you, Mr. Abiodun. Okay, I'm only seeing one person.
Welcome.
Please, welcome him because he's going to share his wealth of knowledge with us. I also have my notepad to put down things here.
Welcome.
All right, Mr. Jonathan, sir, the floor is all yours now. Thank you very much.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Whatever time it is that at your place right now, I am so privileged to be here. I want to appreciate the privilege that I've been given, especially from EDFRICA. I want to especially appreciate the founder, Dr. Emmanuel Odumus, who is the CEO, for this opportunity, and everyone behind the scene working at EDFRICA to make sure that they empower, just like we were told just now by Mr. Kehinde Adewale, to empower Africa. Not only to empower Africa, but to also ensure that people get the requisite knowledge, especially entrepreneurs. Because when you empower entrepreneurs, you're also empowering a nation. When you empower a nation, you are developing that nation. The problem, one of the advantages that nations like US have over Nigeria is because they've developed the enterprises. So the businesses are the ones driving the socioeconomic level, the socioeconomic condition in that country. It's not necessarily government. It's not every time that government is the one in the front. So if we get the business to be in the front of development, then that country will thrive. And I sincerely appreciate this privilege. All right. So I have a slide that I want to share. I don't know if I can share my screen. The objective for this training is, like we are all told, is how entrepreneurs can attract investors to their businesses. And I'm on training objective. The slide on training objective, that will be slide 3. Yes. Understand where by the end of this session, we'll try to understand the fundamental aspects of investment business structure, how to organize business operations, finances, strategies that attracts investors, how we can gain skills in preparing transparent record, and then number 4, how to identify techniques to effectively showcase business value, potential, and also market position. Let's go to slide 5. Who is an investor? Before going in, there's a need for us to understand who an investor is. I want to define an investor in a group or an organization that allocates money into a project or asset with the expectation of earning a return. The investors, they love you, they love your business, but they love themselves more. So if we understand that, investors are not helpers. They are not there to come and help you. They want to make the maximum that they can make while supporting your business. The reason why they are supporting your business is to also make something for themselves. All right. So most people see investors like they are one angel that God is sending from heaven to come and support your business. Yes, we have them like that, but in your mind, have it in mind. If you have this definition of an investor in mind, you will never miss it when packaging your business for investment, for business investment. Okay. Then they can be individuals. Let's go to the next slide. That will be slide 6. Let's go to slide 6. I try to define the types of investors that we have. We have venture capitalists. These people, they look for high growth potential businesses, often in their early stages. They come into the business. They look at that types of. I'm on types of investor right now. 6. They look for businesses have potential, all right, and then they invest in that. But then we also have angel investors. These are individuals or group that are willing to take a higher risk. They want to support the business, like I said, not because they love you or they love your face. Yes, they love you, but they also love themselves. They want to support your business, and the reason is they're looking at this person. I love his passion for this business. I love the traction that this business presents, and I want to be part of it, so that by the time this business blow, we call it blue. By the time this business, we have institutional investors, like this can be governments, banks, different fund like PFA falls here. That's your pension fund administrators. They use your money when they deduct workers' money at the end of the month, and then they keep it. It's not that they keep those monies in the bank. They look for viable businesses, but some of PFAs they invest in established businesses with proven track of profitability, and then they invest there. Then we also have crowdfunding. Crowdfunding investment is an investment that is done online, where you bring your business online, tell the people what you want to do, and then get them to support you to do what you want to do. All right. Now, the next slide, what investors look for in small and medium enterprises. So I added MSMEs. I want to add MSMEs. That's what they are looking for in micro, small, and medium enterprises. Number one is scalability. They look at scalability. This business is their market. When this business grows, will you enjoy patronage? Okay, that's number one. Then number two, the management team. Who are the people behind this business? And then number three, the market potential. Is this business able to compete? Is this business able to compete in the harsh economic climate that we are in Nigeria? Will this business run for 1 year and then fold up, 2 years and then fold up, or 3 years and then fold? An MSME that you are looking for investor for your business, you must pay attention to these three areas: the scalability of your business. Can your business grow? Is it built around you? And I'll talk more on this later. Investors don't want to put their money in a business that is built around only one man. They don't want to put their money in business that is built around one individual, one person. And most of I've worked with a lot of business enterprises. Some of the problems, some of the challenges that they have is that the husband is the CEO, the wife is the managing director, the first son is the so by the time you look at the organizational structure and then you look at the personnel profile, you discover that it's built around. So I was saying before the network issue came up, thank you, Hussein. Before the network, I said the investors, they love you, they love your business. That's why they took time to look at and listen to you. But they love themselves more, they love their money more. They don't want to gamble with their money. So a situation where the husband is the CEO, the wife is the GM, this first son is the operating officer, the daughter is the accountant. They just know that, man, nobody wants to stake their money in that kind of business. So they look at the management team, they look at the people that are involved, and then they look beyond all of that. Will my money come back, or will my money be drained into the for the business that you are doing? All right. Then what is investment readiness? Investment readiness. I'm on the next slide. So that's slide 8. Investment readiness. It means an investment-ready business is a business that is prepared, well prepared. Please, can you go to the next slide?
Okay, sir.
All right. So yes, an investment-ready business is a business that is prepared to attract funding by having a clear business model, strong management team, and a business plan. And then all the legal requirements are complied with. It shows growth potential, financials, market traction, all of which measures investors of its, all of which reassures investors of its ability to generate returns and then minimize risk. Investment readiness refers to the extent to which a business is prepared to attract and retain an investor's interest. Okay, investors look for business with clear growth potential, and I've said all of that. Okay, now, so having said all that I've said, what we are looking at this afternoon is how to attract investors to our business. So I've written out based on my experience, and just like what Mr. Adewale said earlier, I've worked with a lot of organizations, I've worked with a lot of companies, I've worked with a lot of micro, small, and medium enterprises, farmer groups, digital related organizations. And from my experience, I've brought out 9 strategies that can help you attract investors to your business. They are time-tested proof that can help us attract investors to our business. Number 1, let's go to number 1. Mr. Adewale, can you go to this first slide? Slide number 1. Number 1 is be clear about your business and the future. Be clear about your business and the future of the business. And then when I mean be clear about business, you must have a purpose for your business, and don't confuse purpose with vision. Purpose is the reason why the business exists. The reason why the business exists, that's the purpose. Then the vision, where is this business going? In 5 years, where will this business be? In 10 years, where will the business be? In 15 years, where will the business be? Okay. Some people don't have, someone said, if you don't know where you are going, you will not know how to plan to get there. If you don't know where you are going, you will not know how to plan to get there. What is your vision for this business in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years? It also tells investors that you are not just here to collect their money and disappear. You will have a place where you want to go. So after having this purpose, why the reason why the business is existing, and then you have a vision where you are going, make sure you write them down. And then you now go to crafting a mission. Mission is what I am doing now as I walk towards the vision, as I walk towards achieving the purpose of the vision, as I walk towards arriving at the vision. What am I doing now? All right. Then you now talk about core values. What does your business stand for? What will you not take for granted for your business? Some of the investors, so are you asking question or what, Kingsley? Let me just go ahead. All right. So, your core value, what does your business stand for? What will you not, we say that if you compromise to get anything, you will compromise to give it, to keep it. What are your core values? Some people say integrity, professionalism, hard work. What are you willing to stand? When I teach core values, someone said any business that makes only money, any businessman or any business that makes only money is not in business. Your business should not be to make only money. Your business should be to solve problem. All right. So while solving that problem, what are the values that you stand by? When I teach this, I used to ask people, if you are giving 10 million naira in the present Nigeria that we are in right now, if you are giving 10 million naira to slap your wife, how many slap will you give her? If you are giving 10 million naira to slap your wife, your own wife that you marry in your house, how many, and the money is there, not that they are bringing the money from somewhere, the money is there, how many slap will you give her? All right. Now, when I ask these questions from participants, some people say, hey, ATM, my wife will, yes. Some people said, I will slap her and then I'll go and bring money. I will now take her to Israel for treatment. I'll take her to US for treatment. And then there's somebody who stood up and said, come, even if you are giving me 20 billion, I will never slap my wife because my wife is me. Now, this talks about the value that each of us hold. Some people are ready to sacrifice and compromise anything to get money. All right. So I believe that I'm talking to entrepreneurs here. So you also think about that question. That talks about the value. And especially in Nigeria, most businesses don't have value. They don't have core values. What you stood by, what you stand by in your business, what is holding you, what is like your guiding lights. Okay, so you must be careful about that, and you must craft it consciously. Then let's talk about goals and objectives. Goals and objectives talks about the milestones as you begin to move towards your vision, where you are taking the business to. What are the milestones? How do you know you are making progress? Those are the goals. Then you must have objectives. What you are doing right now in the first 6 months. So that talks about you have to share in the first 6 months. What should you have achieved? What is your plan in the next 3 months? So you must have quick wins. Then you now have short-term goals, medium-term goals, long-term goals. And we want to, as investors, we want to see all of this. You will now craft it into a strategic plan. You must have a strategic plan of action, what you are doing, what you plan to do. We said failure to plan is planning to fail. And I know everybody here on this call is an entrepreneur. Everybody on this call is an entrepreneur. You will remember this 7F of failure, of failure, 7 P's of failure. Sorry, perfect planning precedes perfect performance. Poor planning precedes poor performance. All right. So you must have them planned. 5 P's. Sorry, 5 P's. You must have your business. You must have a strategic plan for every aspect of your business. If it's a service business, have a strategic plan. If it's a product and marketing business, have a strong strategic plan that is cast in iron. While you are flexible about the process, you are sure about the end. You are flexible about the process. You adjust the process, especially if you're in a place like Nigeria, where we have inconsistent government policy. You are flexible about your process, but you are certain, you are definitive about the results that you want to achieve at the end of the day. And all of this, you must write them down. You must write them down. You must make sure that you write them down. What all of this does is that it tells you where you are going and makes you know exactly where you are going. If you don't know where you are going, you will not know how to plan to get there. Okay? All right, so let's go. In the next slide, please can we go to the next slide? I said think big, but start small. And there's one of my, in the words of privacy, build your castles in the air. That's where they should be. Then go to work and put foundation under them. All right. So when you put all of this in place, what you are doing is that you are telling yourself, I know where I'm going. I know what I want to achieve. And you're also telling whoever is looking at your business that, yes, I am serious about what I want to do, and I'm ready to achieve the result that I'm set for myself. Okay. Now, when you have crafted where you are going with your business, the next thing to do is to develop a solid and actionable business plan. You must have a business plan for your business. You must have a business plan. What is a business plan? It's a document that gives the roadmap of your business. So I won't plug it so much. I know that in the course of this webinar, we have treated how to do business plan. The only point I want to emphasize here is that don't just hand over your business plan to a consultant to write for you. And then some people even use AI, which is good, which is not bad. But as much as you are going to engage AI or chat GPT to do your business plan for you, must be involved in the nitty-gritty. Customize whatever information they are going to give you to the reality on ground where you are. Whether it's in Lagos, it's in Niger, it's in Abuja, you must be on ground to customize the results that you get, to customize the result that consultants give you with what is on ground. One of what I do as a consultant is I write business plan for organizations, big organizations. And sometimes they'll pay you very big money. You say, consultant, just go and bring business plan for us. I said, no, I want to have a meeting with the management team. What are your visions? What are your goals? What are your values? What do you want to achieve? What are your projections? How much are you planning to invest? All of these are important. So you may think, let me say this. Some investors are really interested in the content of your business. It's not just a document that you just submit tells the investors the company's vision, the strategy, and then the growth potential. All right. So I outline what a business plan should contain. Please, Adewale, can you share that slide? I discovered because your screen is not moving. Are you still on this call?
Yes, I'm with you, sir. I think it's the network.
Oh, okay. Because it just stood at slide 10, and I'm already on slide 12.
I'm not seeing the screen from my
Sorry,
end
sir. It's the
here.
network that's causing the delay.
Okay. And so can I just go ahead and
Please
then
go ahead.
Okay. All right. So we must have. I consciously chose those words: actionable, a solid and actionable business plan. It must be a business plan that is ready to run. All right. And I wrote down some of the things that are required in an actionable and a solid business plan. It must outline the market opportunity. It must demonstrate competitive advantage. It must lay out a clear business model, details financial projections and funding needs. It must highlight the strengths of the management team, addresses the risk management, and demonstrate growth and scalability potential. All right. Let me reemphasize this before I progress. Be part of making the business plan. Be part of making the business plan. Don't just dump it to a consultant. Don't just use AI. Don't just use ChatGPT and just come up with something. Customize it to the peculiar situation of where you are. And there are people who take notes. I've worked with, there was a fund under USAID, and part of the requirement is the submission of business plan. And then we thought, people just get consultants to write business plan. There was one World Bank project, and people thought, just submit business plan. Then, entrepreneurs are funny in Nigeria. People are supposed to come up with different levels of products and services that they can render, and then do a business plan and submit. So we were working with the entrepreneurs to produce business plan. Only then the World Bank now engaged me to. So even me, I was thinking they are going to it's just a requirement. Okay, do you have your business plan? Do you have your audited financial reports? Do you have your bank registration? Do you have your this and that? You just submit it and then they just go and file it. Only for World Bank to contact us and said, come and help us screen the documents that were submitted. Now, what we discovered was that every entrepreneur writing projects on fisheries and aquaculture business, they all did the same business plan. One person, we don't know who copied who, but all of them submitted the same kind of business. They only changed the name of the company, the location, and the name of the entrepreneur. But everything is the same thing. For barbing business, the same thing. Those in digital and ICT repairs, the same thing. I tell you now, and my role as a consultant is to screen and submit reports. If you are in my shoe, what are you going to do? It just shows me that these people are not serious. They only change the name. In fact, some are even lazy that they only change the name of the back cover to their business. Even the names in the document, in the business plan, reflects the name of the person they were not even diligent enough to even go through it one by one to change the names inside. So I had to write my report and access what was before me and submit. Of course, you are sure that many of them will not get this thing. All right. So why am I bringing up this example? Don't just see business plan as a requirement for getting grants or getting loans. No, it's a tangible is a tangible document if you require investors to be interested in your business. As a matter of fact, it is one of the tools that you can use to attract and engage investors into your business. So it's something that you must be conscious of doing. All right. So having said that, number 3, I go to number 3. We don't have time. This is almost 3 o'clock. Showcase a unique value proposition. That's UVP. Unique value proposition talks about how is my business different from all the other people? What I'm doing, how am I different from others who are doing the same thing? And me, particularly as a consultant, I look out for this, because in Nigeria, the moment somebody is doing pure water, everybody wants to do pure water. Somebody is doing Uber, everybody wants to do Uber. Somebody is doing, so how are you different from all the other people? What is your unique value proposition? What new value are you bringing in? Unique value proposition is a clear statement that describes the distinct benefits or value that your business or product offers its customers. Why should a customer choose your business over that of your competitors? And highlight your competitive advantage and the problem your product or service will solve. All right. Don't think people are not interested. We want to know, among everybody doing this business, why should a customer choose you? How are you different from every other person? You must be able to distinguish yourself, and you must know your unique stand. What is your unique value? What differentiates you? How are you different from every other person doing this? Because why should the customer buy from you? As a matter of fact, that's the question that you should ask yourself. Why should a customer be interested in my product? Why should a customer be interested in my service? Why should a customer leave all the other people and come and buy? So you must know that, and you must know it very well, and you must be able to present it. All right, let's go because of time. Number 4, structure your, don't forget, we are looking at 9 strategies you can use to attract, 9 strategies you can use to attract an investor. I said number 1, know the business that you are doing and why you are doing it. And then number 2, have a business plan. Number 3, your UVP, your unique value proposition. And then number 4, structure your business for operational excellence. Now, I will take time to explain this. Structure your business for operational excellence. It means having an efficient business operation. There are some investors prioritize business efficiency, scalability. I wrote a lot. I'm sure maybe as time goes on, they may be able to share this teaching, this training with all of us. But let me say this, like I said earlier, no one wants to do business with a one-man business. No one wants to do business with a business that only one person operates. All right. So the structure that you create for your business is what determines the scalability of that business. For your production system, your service delivery, what are the clear steps? How do you intend to achieve? How do you intend to go from A to B? What I tell people to do is have a documented SOP, that's a standard operating procedure, such that if you are not there, the business is running. The business does not depend on you. That is why we must realize that. That's why they said that there is a difference between a business owner and an entrepreneur. A business owner, somebody like a doctor who has a clinic, and he must be the one to see all the patients. He must be the one to prescribe drugs to all the patients. He must be the one to attend to all the patients. That man is not a business person. He's a business owner. If he didn't take time, he will die. Sure, because he can't enjoy the benefits that entrepreneurs enjoy. One of the benefits of being an entrepreneur is independence. If you must be there before the business run, then you are not running a business. You are running a one-man business. And investors are looking out for this also. They don't want their money to be stuck with someone. What happens if this man is in the hospital? But how do you mitigate this? You have a standard operating procedure for each of the departments of that business. So when we're looking at the business, we're looking, if this man is not there, okay, there is a standard operating procedure for your production process. There's one for your customer service. There's another one for everything. There is a structure, and your structure is foundationed in excellence. That makes people know that, yes, this person knows what he's doing, and he's ready to make progress. All right. Number 5 in the 7 strategies, in the 9 strategies, number 5, showcase market traction. Showcase market traction. Market traction refers to the progress or momentum a business has made in its market, often shown by indicators that demonstrate demand, growth, and validation of its product or services. Your market traction, when you are showing it, make sure you use graphs, use charts to show that, yes, there is a great demand. You can show market traction. What I mean, you say, okay, we have this, we have the population of Lagos State is 30 million people. Look at cowbell. When sachet cowbell came into the market, they came into the market before every other person comes into the market. And what they did was they discovered that the population of Nigeria is now 220 million people, 220 million plus and minus. And discovered that out of these 220, how many people can buy canned milk? Can we make it cheaper so that more people? So when they entered, the bigger companies like Peak and they were laughing at them. Oh no, they don't have class, they don't have excellence. But you know what? They caught a share of the market and they were able to present it. And it's to the extent that even the big guys in the market had to now go back now, the Danos and the Peak and the rest, and start producing in sachet because it has traction. Everybody, if you go to places like Lagos, you don't need to buy a whole chicken to be able to eat chicken. If you get to the market, you see laps only, you see thigh only, you see head only, you see leg only. You don't need to have money for a whole chicken before you eat chicken. So you don't need to be rich to afford 12,000 naira chicken before you can buy chicken meat. All right. There are people, they may not have 12,000 naira, 15,000, 20,000 to buy one whole chicken, but with their 2,000, 3,000. So with their 2,000, 3,000, they can eat chicken in their house. You put all of this in a chart, and then you say, okay, with the population of Lagos that is like 20 million, 25 million people, if we can satisfy just 1 million and we make a profit of maybe 5 naira or 10 naira on each one, and we're able to reach at least 1 million, that's showing traction that, okay. And then the investor is shaking his head. Yes, this guy is saying something. Yes, everybody in Lagos is not a millionaire. They can afford this. Yes, they may not be able to, but at least if 1 million people can buy this product, you are sure that, yes, they will. So it shows that the business has traction. The business can scale. It shows the scalability of the business. It shows that the business can move up. The business can also, there is market for the business. So you also show your market entry strategy and how to cut a share of some of the existing markets. You bring out strategies and then you put them in black and white. It's essentially showcase that the business is gaining traction and moving forward. How many people are you able to satisfy now? And then if I'm giving you money, the money that I'm giving you, how many people will it add to you? How many business will it add to you? How many customers will it add to you? Where are you now? If I give you money in the next 6 months, where will you be? If I give you money in the next 1 year, where will the business be? In terms of revenue, in terms of cost, all of this, you put it down. The investor is shaking his head, say, yes, this business, there's opportunity to move forward in it. And then they want to invest in that kind of business. So you must show market traction. You must show how the business will move. You must make investors see the good light that you are seeing in that business. For investors, market traction is one of the most critical signals of a company's potential. All right, so let's go to the number 6. Demonstrate a strong management team. Number 6, demonstrate a strong management team. Because of time, I will not flog this too much, but I'll say one or two things that I mentioned earlier. The people behind the business determine how investors perceive that business. Like I said, when we started, a business that has the man as the MD, the wife as the finance controller, the son, the daughter, people won't take. And especially Nigeria, go to Corporate Affairs Commission, go and see the kind of registration of business. I worked with a lot of business. Some I had to tell them, come, with this kind of business profile, with this kind of leadership profile, you are not getting anything. Because nobody wants to stake their money for your family. But when you have a business, you look for the reputable people. What you do is, you may not even need to call it board of directors. You can call it advisory board. A strong management team that has advice. People want to know who is behind the business. Now, imagine you have a business. You put Yinka Awoshika, you put Tony Elumelu, I'm not saying you should go and just pick people's name. The point I'm trying to make is that look for reputable people who have integrity, number one, and then they have capacity, they have ability, they are ready to listen to you, they believe in your business, and then make them part of the advisory board, and then tell them, ask their permission to include their names in your advisory board or as your board of directors. Look for time, meet these people one-on-one. If they believe in you, they will make themselves or their names available to you. And when someone picks the profile, the management profile of the business, and sees the kind of people behind it, they say, it gives them confidence that, come, this person knows what he's doing, and I'm going to stake my money. All right. So investors know that a competent and trustworthy team will drive the business towards success. As a matter of fact, I wrote something here. I said, a great idea with a weak team is unlikely to gain investor support, but a strong team can attract investment even if the business idea has risk. because they are not looking at the business potential. They're looking at the people behind it. They are saying these people behind this business, so they won't allow their name to spoil. And you can, and some people may even say, so please let me also add this: as you involve people as a member of the board of your advisory team or your management team, as you call them, or board of directors, don't just scout for name and puts. Get their consent, discuss with them, let them buy into what you are doing, convince them about the business. And even if it's once in a month or once in 2 months, meet with them, tell them what you are doing. One of the problems with entrepreneurs in Nigeria is this ownership mentality. You want to own 100% of something that is just 1 million, rather than having 20 or 30% of a multi-million-dollar enterprise. You can even give them a share of the business. If they know that they have a stake in this business, they give you the ideas and concept that will carry that business from wherever it is to where it's supposed to be. All right. So don't always think, this is my business, this is my baby, I came up with it, it's my idea. No, be ready to share your ideas with people who have, if they were failures, they would not be where they are. Okay. So Nigerian mentality does not come in here. Be willing to even lose a part of the percentage to some of these people to gain relevance, to gain traction, to gain growth, to gain recognition. Just one recommendation. One of the advisors that believes in your business can only will pick the phone and call someone and say, come on, there's one of my boys doing very good, and I want us to support him. Can we raise together? I'm planning to put 100 million in this business. Can you get me? My goal is to have 500 million. Can you raise another 20? Say, if you are involved, Ogami, if you are involved, you are putting 100 too. I'm putting another 100. I'm matching your 100. And that person comes and matching your. Before you know it, you have the money you need. And then for a person, because they've seen the potentials of that business, they know where the business is coming, and they are ready to be part of the business. And like I said earlier, it's good for you to have 20% of multi-billion naira business than have 100% of your local 500,000, 200,000, 1 million naira worth business. Okay, so let's think about that. So get a strong management team behind your business. Number 7 out of the 9, ensure the business is financially transparent. Ensure the business is financially transparent. Okay, okay, I skipped one. I said, in addition to a strong management team, establish solid governance structure. All right, so you must have your we call it the organizational structure or organogram. Make sure that you have it and then you work with it. Okay, and like I said, don't put all your family members inside, put others, but have an organizational structure. And beyond having an organizational structure, you must also have an organizational schedule. You must have what do we call it? Details of responsibility. The manager, what are his roles and responsibilities? What are his schedule? The deputy general manager, the marketing manager, the sales officer, the accountant, what are their schedule? Have it written down. Have it written down. All right. So everybody is clear about their roles and responsibilities, and anyone who is not in alignment with the roles and responsibility, they also know. All right. That's very important. Have a very strong governance structure. Let there be discipline in place. Anybody who is not doing what they're supposed to do, they know. And then when they are disciplined, they also know. All right. Good. Now let's go to number 7. Ensure the business is financially transparent. And when I mean transparent, there's no hiding anything. Let everything be open by ensuring that the necessary books are kept and constantly updated. My experience with entrepreneurs in Nigeria especially, and I've gone to all the states in Nigeria, some of our people, let me not say all, some of our people don't like bookkeeping. And whoever wants to invest, whether they are institutional investors or they are government fund, they want to, or commercial houses like banks, they want to see what you have been able to do. They want to see what you are doing, and then they want to see where you want to go. We don't like keeping, Nigerian businesses don't like keeping their documentations are right. They just feel everybody is talking about taxation. If I declare what I'm earning, if I declare what I'm doing, tax people will show me shaggy. No, keep your documentation. You see, when you pay tax, it's your social responsibility. It's your statutory responsibility to the government. So don't be afraid of paying tax. But for you to pay tax, it shows that your business is moving. There's a provision in the law. If your business is not making profits, they can excuse you in some taxes. If your business is not making profits, there are provisions in the tax law that excuse you from even paying tax. All right. So you see, company, they under-declare, they won't even write it down because they are afraid. No, let your documentation be in place, and then also focus on ensuring that all your books are kept. And then, having said that, legal documentation, make sure that they are in place also. Make sure that your business is legal. That's what I mean. You must have a certificate of registration and it must be up to date. Then you must also have your tax clearance. You must audit your accounts, and then you must also have your annual return. All of these are important because some investors, they will ask for this. As a matter of fact, we have consulted. I know some organizations that we disqualified because they are not legal entity. In the face of the law, if your business is not registered, and you must try to move from a one-man business to a limited liability, because a one-man business, that is enterprises or business name, nobody will take you business serious, and there's a limit to what you can do. There's a limit to the support you can that you can attract from investors. Okay, so you must ensure that you register the business, you have a certificate to it, and make sure that it's a limited liability. And then we can also talk about the shares, the number of shares. You can start from 1 million, 10 million, 100 million share capital. All right. Then make sure that you constantly get your tax clearance certificates from FIRS, that's Federal Inland Revenue. Then also audit your accounts. Then also make sure that every year you do your annual. As a matter of fact, now, if you don't have any of all of this, Bank of Industry, and there are several programs that Bank of Industry is running. Some of us are not aware, though I'll talk about it later. If you don't have any of this, even one of all of these documents, Bank of Industry will not give you loan. They will not even pre-qualify, because there's what they call pre-qualification. I'm also a consultant. I work with Bank of Industry. They will not pre-qualify you. All right. So then beyond that, your documentation, your balance sheet talks about where your business, the financial position of your business now, then your income statement, how much is your business making now, and then we also have our cash flow statement. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Budgeting and forecasting. You must have a solid budgeting and forecasting. Don't just run your business. You must have budget. Even Nigeria, as a matter of fact, I'm sure that we all will know that lack of budget is an impeachable offense, or not following budget. President Tinubu in Nigeria can be impeached if he refuses to follow just one. It's an impeachable offense for government. Just not following one budget that has been passed by the House and the Senate, they can impeach him. The same thing for your business. You must not only have a budget, you must follow your budget. You must also forecast. Okay, this year, because we worked last year, we're able to get from here to here. This year, these are what we want to spend on our capital expenses, and then our recurrent, like staff salaries, overhead, and the rest like that. This is what we are projecting. So you must have projections. All of this tells the investor that, oh, this guy is serious, and then it gives them an idea of where this business is going. And then it tells them, okay, if I put money into this business, my money will come back. Like I told you, investors don't care about you. They care about themselves and their business. So if their money is not coming out, if you like, do anything you want to do. They will just look at you and take their money somewhere where their money will work for them. All right, so let's go to the next slide. Key financials that investors look out for. Adewale, can you go to the next slide? Key financials that investors look out for. That's number 8. Okay, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for your effort, please. Thank you. Okay, so revenue and sales growth. They want to know how much money is coming into the business, and then how is the business growing. Number 2, gross and net profit. We all know all of this. Gross is total, while net is after the deduction of all the deductible taxes, overhead, the rest, how much is remaining. And then we also have the cash flow statement. We have the break-even point. They want to know, break-even talks about how many years will my money be in your business before all the money that I invest into your business comes out. Well, I'm not even talking about profits now. The total money that I invested in this business, how many years will it work before it breaks even? That's when cash in and cash out becomes zero. They want to know that. And then the cost structure. What are the costs that are involved in running this business? Then the return on investment. If I invest this money, how much profit will come to me? How much after the breaking even? How many years will I start making profit on my money? And how much money will start coming into me? Then they also want to know the debt to equity ratio of the business. That is, how indebted is this business? Because there are some people, they would have taken. That's why, especially BOI and some institutional investors, before they support your business, they will ask for your BVN. And your BVN is linked to all your accounts is linked to one BVN. So some people would have collected loan, maybe from example, I don't want to demarket any bank, maybe from GT Bank or Zenith Bank. When they collect loan from GT Bank or Zenith Bank, they will lie. So when you give them money, rather than using this money to run the business, this part of this money will go into paying off some of the debts that they have. So the people want to know, come on, what is the debt that this guy is owing? If I give him money, will he use my money to invest directly, or he will use it to pay off his debts back? So in all of this, it's not wrong to have a business debt. Is that okay? It's not wrong, but be plain and be open, and then let them know, okay, yes, we have some debts. Part of this money will go into paying some of these debts, while the rest will go into expanding the business and then consolidating and expanding the business. And then, what are your financial projections? What are you looking at? Where will you be in the next 5 years? Where will you be in the next 10 years? Where will the business be in the next 20 years? All right. So, like I said, we must have a quick win, short time, medium term, and long term projections for the business. It tells that, okay, yes, this person knows what he's doing, and if I partner with him, I'm sure that my money will come out immediately. I mean, as soon as possible. Let's go to number 8. Time is against me. Number 8. Network and build relationships. Network and build relationships. Network, that's strategy number 8. Network and build relationships. This is important. Join relevant networks. Become a member of industries. BMO. BMO means business membership organization, like Association of Digital Marketers, Association of Information Marketers, Association of Handset Repair, whatever it is. Make sure that you are a member of an industry association, or you can become a member of the National Chamber of Commerce and Industry. All of this place, when you join, don't just be a nominal member, be an active member. Let people know you. And then while you are there, let people know what you are doing. Then attend networking events, participate in trade shows, conferences, pitch competitions. Then leverage on social media. A good product without advertisement is like a handsome man wincing at a lady in the dark. No matter how you wince and your eyeball removed from your eye socket, she will not see you. So tell people what you do. Let them know. Use every available medium to let people know what you are doing. Then number 4, build genuine relationship. Build genuine relationship. Someone said, I see farther than my colleagues because I stand on shoulders of those who have gone ahead of me. Leverage with relationship. Relationship are supposed to lift you up. So leverage on relationship, relate with people, and when you know people, it's not a sin. It's not wrong to go to them and say, sir, this is what I'm doing. Can you introduce me to your circle? And all of this, your integrity is also important. Some people say, I don't care what they think about me once my heart is correct. No, you must think how people perceive you. You must think about it. Okay. All right. So because relationships are currencies. Relationships are currencies. If you read the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, relationships are currencies. We have emotional deposits. When people, in fact, Brian Tracy that I quoted earlier, he said the more people who knows you in a pleasant and positive way, the faster your chances of success in life. If everybody thinks you are cool, you are proud, you are whatever, then it will affect how they perceive you. It will also affect what you achieve. Let's go to number 5. Participate in community development activity. Go to the next slide. Yes, participate in community development activity. Okay, join your association or your community group. When they are doing something, when they are clearing road, join them. When they are repairing this thing, join them. Whatever it is that they are doing, be part of it. Don't just be a nominal person there. All of these things, one day somebody will say, who is this? All right, then utilize technology. Host webinars like we are doing right now. Let people know about what you are doing using technology. Then network through educational institutions. You can go to a school and say, come, this is what I'm doing. I can partner with you to do this. Tell people about what you are doing. Then engage your religious affiliations. Take advantage of your membership of your religious group, like your church, your mosque. I wrote Asalatu. You are a member of a church. You are not only in church or in your mosque to go to heaven. When you go there, I'm a dry cleaner. This is what I do. I dry clean the best fabric. In fact, my business is a fabric engineering business. Fabric engineering business, we don't only wash your, we systematically engineer your dresses, say what you are doing, package your work very well, and people will respect you for it. In your church, say, oh, is that what you are doing? Okay, I see you in church, or I see you in mosque. I don't know that. Okay, let me give you a try. Can you do this? If you're doing, then one of those days, sir, if I can get, if I can get like 10 million, there's an equipment. If I'm able to acquire this, bring me so number of income, and you are sure that your 20 million, sir, if I'm able to work with it for 1 year, I can return your money and return another 10 million extra. Man is interested. Say, okay, and I've been seeing you in church. I don't know this how. I've been seeing you in our mosque. I don't know this how. And from there, the business that you have been, the money that you have been looking for, will look for you. All right. So let's go to number 9. As we prepare to round up, prepare a persuasive pitch. Number 9, that's the 9th strategy we're talking about now. So this is the 9th strategy. Prepare a persuasive speech. All right. Clearly and concisely present your business opportunity and growth potential. Prepare and present your business opportunity and growth potential. All right. So most times people just look down on pitch. There were groups that I was supposed to, as consultants, we were engaged to screen some guys. And so part of the requirement was prepare a 5-minute speech. Usually we'll give you 5 minutes. In fact, there are some we give you 3 minutes to prepare a pitch and come and deliver your pitch. We want to see how you can, the way you deliver a pitch also tells us how passionate you are about what you are doing. And they're like that. Apart from every other things that we have seen about the business, we want to hear you talk about it. And when you're delivering your pitch, your passion, your determination for growth, your everything will show in the way you talk. It will show in your gestation and your body language. So your pitch is not only what you are saying. We're not only looking at what you are saying. That's why most pitches are video. We're also looking at your face. We're looking at your eye. We're looking at your body language. So let's look at how to prepare. So I took time how to craft and deliver winning pitch for investors. Let's go to the next slide, Wale. How to prepare winning pitch for investors. Mr. Wale, can you go to the next slide so that Mr. Adewale, the next slide. How to craft and deliver winning pitch for investors. Okay, let me just go ahead. I'm sure it's network. Number 1, start with a very strong opening. Start with a very strong opening. Capture their attention immediately with a remarkable hook or a compelling story that highlights the problem your business wants to solve. Yeah. That's number 1. Like I said, your business should not only be money. Okay. Yes, it's there. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Your business should not only be about money. It must be about solving problem. What is the problem? Put pepper in that problem. Put salt. Put Maggi in that problem. Enlarge the problem. Tell a story around it. Is that okay? And then clearly define the problem. Let people know what the problem is. And then number 3, you now present your product or service as the unique solution to that problem. Present let's assume that you want to talk about a let me see a waste clearing business. All right, maybe the community, they dump their waste on the dump sites, and you want to come up with a solution to help them pick the garbages from their various houses. You say, there's so much dirt here. In fact, this causes, if you can even say it causes coronavirus. It can cause malaria. You make the business, the problem so big, and then you present. And when you are opening, you say, how will you feel if we only have 3 hospitals in this community? How will you feel if all the children in this community are always on admission in this hospital? People will say, that would be bad. And then you now say, okay, can you imagine that all the dirty from this area is gathered in that place and it keeps compiling? Look at rain, the wind will carry the diseases from that, and like that you expand the problem, and then you now present your solution as the unique solution to that problem, and then you demonstrate the market potential. I want to buy 3 buses, or I want to buy 3 vans, evacuation vans, to be able to move all of this. It will do this, it will do. Then you show traction and you show milestone, and you now outline the business model. You outline the business model. Go to the next slide. You now tell them, okay, this is how it will be running, this is how it will run, this is how it will run, this is how it will run. you will get their attention. And then while doing that, you now introduce your team. Say, I'm not doing this thing alone. No. I have people behind me. I have people who are supporting me. I have people who are ready to be part of this, who are giving me ideas. You list them. You say their qualification, and then you also say their experience. Take note, say their qualification, and then you also say their experience. And at the end, you now ask, I am looking for 20 million. And I believe that with 20 million, I'm able to do this, like I've said. And if I get this 20 million in the next 3 years, because we're also listening to you, we want to hear that in the next 1 month, we will do this. In the next 1 year, we will do this. In the next 3 years, we will do this. In the next 5 years, we will do this. We'll be here. And the investor is happy. He is seeing that, yes, my money will come out. Okay. And he's shaking his leg. He wants to support you. Let's go to the last slide. Successful pitch delivery tips. Successful pitch delivery is number one, keep it concise. Like I said, usually 5 to 10 minutes, but work with 5 minutes. 10 minutes is even too much. While you focus on the key points that are outlined, then practice and engage. Rehearse your delivery. Don't just talk. Don't just talk because you have to talk. Prepare yourself like you are going to appear before Tinubu. Prepare yourself as if the money that I need is in the hand of this person and I want to get it. Like I said initially, we are not only listening to what you are saying. We are looking at your eye. We are looking at your passion. We are looking at your body language. We are looking at your gesticulation. All of this tells us if you are just packaging yourself to collect our money and buy another wife or disappear and japa and go to Canada, or you really want to do that business and make our money come back. All right, then show your passion and your vision. Okay, show your passion. Let your passion and your vision appear in what you are saying. Okay, now let's go to the last slide as I round up. Closing remarks. Securing investment is an achievable goal with the right business structure, transparency, and strategic communication. Through intentional planning and clear investor relation, every business can attract the capital that they need for sustainable growth. And let me emphasize this. There are money flying all around. I work with a USAID project, and I discovered that there are plenty USAID projects that are supporting MSMEs and enterprise. There is HEFA project where we are supporting. We also work, even this year, enterprises, business groups, cooperative societies, that these funds are available. They are looking for serious business people who are ready to and willing to take this money, work with it, and scale up. These monies are there. So you must know that these monies are there and prepare yourself to get it. And when you walk towards it and you prepare yourself, you will get it. The monies are there everywhere. Even banks, there are monies that are, most banks set up a percentage. Even CBN Nigeria, they set up a percentage of their profits, and it's even mandated by government, where a percentage of the profit before tax of every of these financial institutions or organizations are reserved to fund MSMEs in Nigeria. All of this. So if you are ready to attract investors, if you package yourself, you can get some of this support, and they're available. All you just need to do is the contact, and I'm sure EDFRICA will share. I will be able to share some of them with us later, some of these organizations. And we have some of these organizations. There are so many international organizations. They want to support, especially Nigeria is even classified as a developing nation. So there are several organizations, international organizations, supporting Nigeria. GIZ, yeah, you see, there are several HEFA, there are several organizations supporting small and medium enterprises in Nigeria. They want to see them grow. Women organizations, youth organizations, there are plenty of opportunities. So package yourself. Then let me say this finally, because I've also seen it as a problem with some of our organizations, some of our MSMEs. While it is good to package your business to attract investments, you must, because a lot of people, rather than running the business now, they will not run the business. All their attention is, and I worked with a business in Calabar. I worked with one other business in Kebbi. They've lost touch of the business, but they have everything. They've become portfolio business people. They have every requirement. They have their certificate of registration. They have their audited accounts, they have their statements of affairs, they have all the requirements that the financing agencies and investors require, but the business is not on ground. All right, they've shifted attention from running these businesses to making themselves as an attractive bride. That's why you see some people fine girl, everything. I'm not saying this to put down anybody, but by the time you enter, there's nothing to write home about. So as much as you are preparing yourself to attract investors, As much as you are preparing your business to attract investors, you must also make sure that you are running the business. You must make sure that you are running the business. You are not carried away with the requirements of preparing your business for investors and to attract grants, to get loan, and then you forget to run the business. And by the time they want to do due process, I've been involved in that also. My organization will send me, okay, go and do due diligence on. We have screened out of 50. We have screened and we have just 4 more. Out of 50, we have screened remaining 4. So this for due diligence. They will pay flight for us to go. In fact, there was one in Lagos. Their papers were complete, everything set, everything neat, documentation, pitch. Oh my God, everything. When we got there, we didn't see any business on ground. I now called the guy. How far? See your paper, everything, tax clearance, correct, up to date. This is correct, up to date. So when I get this money, I'll use it to start. And most funding organizations don't want you to use their money as startup. They want to see what you have done with your own money before they bring their money. So my idea was not to go and investigate a startup. And when you were even applying, you didn't apply as a startup. You applied like someone who already had the business. But when you got there, so and the people who sent me were the ones paying me. They paid me well, because of my integrity. And I can't go there and tell them, and then you put me in and will tell you want to. No, I must still go and report what I met on ground. So I'm saying this to all our investors. As you are preparing yourself for investment, you are preparing your business for investors, you are preparing everything, make sure that you are running the business. Make sure that the business is on ground. Make sure that you are trying your best at your low level now. Sometimes people get carried away and they leave the business. Thank you everyone for your time. I'm so happy for this privilege. I appreciate our founder and MD for this opportunity, our CEO, and I also appreciate Kendi Adewale for facilitation and all the members at EDFRICA. Thank you very much. So I'll take time to take our questions. I don't know if there's still time. Our facilitators will tell us. Thank you very much, and God bless you everyone. Thank you. So I hand over now to our facilitator.
All right, thank you very much, sir, Mr. Jonathan. That was a very great section. I personally appreciate you because I have learned a lot. Okay, so we would love to take questions. If you have questions for Mr. Jonathan, let's do a head count so that we don't have everybody coming up. So let's do a head count. If you have questions, can you kindly raise your hands so we can take it up from there. Okay, so in 1 minute, I just want to see the raised hands for those who have questions. Right now, I have 12 hands raised. So we want to do that very quickly in 1 minute. Okay, so I have 12 hands that has been raised. And please don't bring down your hands until I call you. So once I call you, you ask your questions and you bring down your hand so that I don't get confused, please. Okay, Christiana Amechi, please go on with your question. Olusegun Bangbagde, can you go on?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Just Olusegun Bangbagde.
Okay, please go on, sir.
Thank you for the presentation. One thing that I think I have been pondering on was mentioned. In my own case, there has been situation where we register company as partnerships. I mean, different people, maybe about 4, and you discover that at the end of the day, maybe someone is waiting for one person to do the work, and when it starts growing, it becomes our own. And I've had to also
Olusegun Bamigbade, can you come again? I lost my network. I didn't get where you started from. Sorry, please.
Okay, I said there was one of the things you said that I am considering, the issue of when you register a company and it's not just you or maybe your family member. I've been involved in business that I have myself and 3 other people that registered the company. And then when we now talk about operation, you discover that maybe it's just one person or 2 people that are really pushing, and the others are waiting and watching. And even though you are doing meetings, you are doing this and that, the commitment from other people are not as it's supposed to be. Now, in that situation, and I've been encouraging people that partnership is important. I think partnership is very important because most companies out there, especially ICT companies and all that, you find that it's two people. I was asking someone, I think that was this week or last week. I said, HP, do you know about their story? He said, no. I started telling him, H is Hewlett, P is Packard. They're two people, partnership, and he's striving and working. But I have a fear about this in Africa, and let me say specifically in Nigeria. When you say two people come together, or three people, or some people, at the end of the day, you find others waiting for one person to do the job, and when it starts growing, it's our work. How do you cope with situations like that? Because these are realities. And then you also mentioned the situation of getting advisory board. I think I agree with it, but the issue is how do you go about that? People like Tony Elemilu, how do you get in touch with them? These are people that somehow they build a wall round about them. You hardly can access them. So in engaging such people as advisory board, how do you go about that? Those are the things I think I would, by virtue of your experience, of course, there may be some hints that could be of help. Partnership in Nigeria, partnership in Africa. You don't want to put in all your effort and energy into something, and the other people that are part of it are not putting, not even equal, but at least some level of commitment. And then at the end of the day, when the thing begins to yield, it becomes our own, not and because of that, some people, some of us, let me say some, or some people have to restrict maybe their family member. Don't forget that even in the US, there are businesses that are family business and they are striving, like Trump. It's a family business that he inherited from his father, and he grew with the business and scaled it, and it's booming. So how do we balance all this? Thank you.
Thank you very much for that question, and I think I quite appreciate what you said, especially in Nigeria. Yes. So let me start. Number one, when you're doing, because what you mentioned is really very, especially in Nigeria, very pertinent. We have people who you do partnership with them, and then they come after striving everything. I have been a victim of something like this. All right. So how I will answer that is that number one, any partnership, any business you are doing with someone, there must be, don't say this is my mosque Christian brother or Christian Muslim brother or Muslim sister. Once it's coming together of two different people, even if it's your brother, your blood brother, your younger brother, your senior sister, let there be a legal agreement signed by the two of you and a witness who is a legal person, who is not a family member, and signed and filed. Is that okay? So the agreement will carry everybody's individual rules and responsibilities, and you must also project ahead. When this project gets to this level, what is this person going to be doing? What is this person going to be doing? What is our sharing formula? It must be all encompassing. You must discuss everything. You must think about it. And while doing that, there must be no sentiment. I have done something like that before. An angel investor was going to invest some amount of money into a business that I started more than 25 years ago. And because the person is older than me, everything, yes, mommy, yes, mommy. Anything she said, yes, mommy, yes, mommy. It took the help and the grace of God for me to come out of that wrong business partnership. Because eventually I became like the houseboy and I was working. I cannot even earn because all the money. So the point I'm trying to make is that you must know what you are doing, and then you must go into it with clear understanding of each individual's roles and responsibilities. So I hope that answers your question. What I did, I've also done other partnership business, but this one, no sentiment at all. Even the person I say, no, we are brothers, we cannot cheat each other. As a matter of fact, the reason why, look at what is happening between Peace Square, the two Peace Square. I am not so much of it, but I know that I know one is Peter, one is Paul. I know that there's a problem, and the three of them, there's Jude, who is their manager. There are issues, and it's because no, we know fish, and we are brothers now, we cannot cheat each other. Even if the reason why you should even have a written and signed agreement with a third party as witness is because you are brothers. Everybody knows their role, everybody knows their responsibility, everybody knows what they are doing. So I'm sorry to use that example, but that was the example that came to my mind for now. Not that I'm playing them down or playing down their efforts, but I'm using that as an example on the point of discussion that we're doing now. That's number one. Then number two, families can run business, yes, but the point I'm trying to make is that most of the time, like now, they are challenging Tinubu that why will it take 5 people from the Ogun State or 4 people as ministers? Are you saying we don't have other people from other parts of the country? When you want a global business, even if the board or the registered directors for that business are your family members, when it comes to the operation, bring in other people. All right. Now you talked about accessibility of some of these treatments. I only use Elumelu, Adenuga, and all of these people, Dangote, as example. Yinka, Woshika, Declare, Woshika. Look in your community, people who have respect, people who have done what you want to do, people who have results to show. Okay, tell them what you want to do and sell it to them. What I mean sell it, I'm not meaning selling it and collect money. What I mean is that sell the idea, sell the concept to them, and buy their consent, get their buy-in into the business. All right, they may not even be involved they don't have to be involved in the operation of the. What you just need is you want to use their names, you want to use their skill, you want to use their knowledge. Like now, I'm a board of 1 or 2 companies or 3 companies. I'm a board member, I'm an advisory board member to some other organizations. You get, but apart from meeting once or twice, but the guy have access, he can call me every time, anytime. In fact, one of the times he calls me, the ideas that I give him, he say, I've never thought about it like this because before. He says, sir, what you have told me now, I've never seen it in any book. You understand? Because these people have done what you are trying to do. They've succeeded at doing it. So they know some things that you don't know. So you want to leverage on their experience. You want to leverage on their knowledge. You want to leverage on their skill. You also want to leverage on their connection. Let's not forget that. You also want to leverage. So while the official board members are your family member that you used to register at CAC, that's why I called it, and I consciously chose that word. I called it advisory board member. They are people you respect, that not only you respect, other people respect. They are people who have proven themselves as business, as renowned business people, successful business people. They've done what you are trying to do. Okay, it's not that they are part of the business, but they are part of your advisory board member, and you're also leveraging on their network. You are leveraging on their connection. You are leveraging on their everything to package your business and move your business forward. They may not be involved in the day-to-day running of the business, but they are there to give you counsel, and they are there to also stand as a as a pillar for you. When somebody wants to bring money into your business, say, okay, who are the people behind these things? So person. That's when I mentioned the Lumelu. But they must be renowned people in your area. So person is with me. But this is his number. Let me ask for his permission if I should give him your number so you can call him and then let him, so that you will know that he's with. And then since you have already sold the business to him and he has bought it, when this person called him, say, oh, so you are part of this thing. Oh, that's good. I'm interested. He came to me and I'm willing to support him with 20 million. I'm willing to support him with 100 million because of the network that we have with this person that he has leveraged. All right. So thank you very much for that. I hope this answers your question. Thank you.
Mr. Ibikunle Peter, can you go ahead with your question? And please let your question be asked under 1 minute so that we can save enough time while every other person goes to the chat box to drop their questions. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Can you hear me, please?
Yes.
Yeah, I will ask my question under 1 minute. Yeah, I have 2 questions. One is about partnership, and the second one is about business registration. Talking about partnership, how would you suggest that partners measure their contribution, especially for equity sharing? And talking about the equity sharing, when you get investors, having in mind that you're going to have even bigger investors in the future, how would you suggest that the first set of investors are carefully selected? The second one is about talking about being a tech in the aircraft, for example, if you have different tech products, and would you suggest that all of these products be under a single umbrella company, or each product should have their respective or individual organization setup, especially bearing in mind that they may be within the same domain and they are self-sufficient. Yeah, those are my two questions. Thank you very much.
So this is what we'll
But
do. Can you
yes,
please
sir.
help me drop your question in the chat box while I read other questions to him and he attends to, then I'll read yours to him
Okay.
as well. Thank you very much. He's in Uganda now. He's trying to know, how do you prospect or find the exact funding opportunities for someone like him in Uganda?
Okay, so let me. I mentioned how to that time. All right, but everything we are doing in this course is how to get investors. But let me narrow it down to what I said. If you are in Uganda, now leverage on your network and build relationships. Okay, then attend trade organizations, attend trade fairs that are trade shows that are relevant to your area of business. Okay, then leverage your contacts, leverage your relationship with people. I also mentioned your religious organization and your religious affiliations. Okay, then what you want to do also is to also read up, get on the internet and look for opportunities. And like I said, there are plenty of opportunities. I'm not in Uganda, but I feel the principle should also be able to work in Uganda. Okay, get involved with association, trade association, go to trade shows, then look for opportunities to pitch your business to investors, look for opportunities to showcase what you can do, all right, to investors. And I'm sure that even in Uganda, you'll be able to get people who will be interested in what you are doing, and they can now ask you to come down and then give them the nitty-gritty of the business. And I'm sure that from there you'll be able to get someone who will
Okay.
be
Thank
willing
you
to
very much.
support your business.
All right. I'm sure Mr. Hussein already
Yes, you're
got
welcome.
that.
So can we have the next question?
Yes. The next question is from Okafo. So the question from Okafo, he wants to be sure that do we need to set up our business physically before we start seeking funding?
Okay, so I will answer that question like this. Like I said, when we are talking about investors, to use their money as guinea pig, most investors want to be sure that your business is up and running. They've seen your they are not only looking at your projection, they have also seen your results, because there are two things: there's results and then there's projection. All right, it's your result that you can use to do good projections. You can use your result that you have achieved. Okay, so yes, investors may not want to invest if you don't have anything physically on ground. That's why we call it an investment. But if you are looking for startup, that is another area that is completely different. So when if your business is a startup, then look for startup business. And when I talked about business plan, if you're a startup, what you are doing is feasibility study, not business plan. You can merge it, business plan and feasibility study, but most of what is inside a business plan is also contained in a feasibility study. But one of the major components or concept of a feasibility study is that how feasible is this business going to be? All right. So an investor who is willing to start, who may be willing to invest in a startup business, we look at your feasibility studies and then look at also at your business. I said most part of business plan are also contained in feasibility studies. They will also look at your projection, but they know that yes, this business is a startup, and they know from the beginning, not that you package it for them like it's an existing business, meanwhile it's a startup. No, from the beginning you let them know that this is a startup business, but I believe I have done. And with that, you must have a track record of starting a business. And because no, you see, the grass looks greener on the other side of the fence until you get there, and then you discover that there are patches of brown. You understand? It may look real and realistic in your mind, you get, but an investor wants to be sure that this thing I'm going to put my money in will work. So if it's a startup, let them know from the beginning that you have not tried it before. If you want to enhance the success of your getting support for your startup, you must have been able to do something else that is successful. And then the person knows that if you can succeed, like there are some 2 or 3 businesses that I worked, which are startups, but we're able to get loan for one of them. And the reason was because the proprietor has done one business before. It's a transportation business, and it was successful from 2 vehicles. He was successful. He was able to he's into logistics business, moving things, moving petroleum product, moving things. And from one business, he was able to move from 1 vehicle, 2 vehicles. He was able to get to the level where they have close to 150,000, 150 vehicles
All right. So he's now looking for funding from BOI to start another line of business. This new line of business is a startup, but it's also not a startup because his experience, his antecedent show that if he can grow this logistics business from 1 or 2 vehicles until they have a fleet of 150, so it means that if we support him with the money that he requires in this business, we are sure that I don't want to call same miracle, but the same kind of feats that he pulled in this business, he will be able to do that. All right. So, but let them know it's a startup, and put your antecedents, your everything to on the line. Let them know, okay, this is what I've done before. But you just came up from the blues and said they want to do startup and you need business. Some people may be able to support you, but it's not everybody. You will not be so appealing because people want to be sure that what have you done before they are able to stick their neck out. And like I said when we started the webinar, they love you. Investors love you, but they love themselves more. They love their money more, and they don't want to waste money. So they want to be sure that their money will come out. Number one, the first concern of an investor is that my money will come out. Then the second concern is, when will I start making money from this money? When will I start making profits? How profitable is this one? When will I start making money? Then the third concern is, what is the volume of the money that will start making? Number one, will my money come out? Number two, when will it come out? Number three, how can I scale up the volume that will come out? Will this money make me more money? If I invest my 50 million, 100 million, will I be able to get 1 billion? Will I be able to get 500 million? How soon? Thank you very much. I hope I answered your question correctly.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. I believe that question was actually answered well. Okay, there's another question here that says, as a sole proprietor of a small scale business looking to scale up by exploring the magic of social media, what chances do I have to attract funding for my business if I lack these structures?
Yes, you can explore the magic of social media. And like I said, you can take advantage of social media and crowdfunding to fund your business. If you don't have structure, most of the people who are going to support your business on social media don't even care about your structure. They like your person, they hear some of the things you said on the business, and that's just all. All right, so you can take advantage of that. I believe the only point there is that it's not sustainable. It's not going to be something that is sustainable. It's not going to be something that is reliable. You can't just go there today, go there tomorrow, and then somebody is there to. It's not sustainable. That's the only thing I can say about that. And you can't use that to actually build. You can use that to start a business if you get people to support. But most of the time, right now, if it's not for a cause that people believe in, they may not even look at it. But the point I emphasize is that when you use social media, is to tell the world what you do, to showcase what you do, and reach larger audience with what you do. All right, not necessarily to look for fund, but to showcase what you do. And when you showcase what you do, people believe in you, then they can get attracted to what you do, and then they will be willing to support you. But not that you go there because you are seeking for fund, because that model of attracting investors is not sustainable. It's not something that is sustainable at all. And with that, you may not need structure actually. Once you have believability and people believe in you, they may be able to support you with money, but it's not sustainable. And I think that's how I will answer that.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Okay, yeah, the next one says, I have a business idea that is supposed to be registered as a limited liability company, but due to financial constraints, I want to register the business name first, then upgrade it to a limited liability company later. That is, I think, when there is enough finances to do that. And now the person is asking, is that advisable?
Yes, it is advisable. Like I said in the course of the webinar, build your castles in the air. That's where they should be. Then go ahead and put foundation on that. Then think big, start small. Smedan has that slogan. When you think big, start small, make profit. I think that's the slogan of Smedan, Small and Medium Enterprises Development Agency. Did some work with it. That's their slogan. All right. So start small, but you must know that there are limitations. There's a limit to what a one-man business can do. There's a limit to the kind of funding that a one-man business can attract. Okay, then there's a limit. Even when you register, when you upgrade later to 1 million share capital, there's a limit to what you can do. When you register to 10 million share capital, somebody that is doing a one-man business may not be able to ask for 100 million to scale up the business. People will say, but this thing is in your name. Even you two don't want to do it because a one-man business, it means that if anything happens to the business, whatever happens to that business happens to you. So if you have a registered name business, that means you are the same with your business. Limited liability means the business it has a life of its own. the owner is different from the business. If the business go bankrupt, the bank cannot touch the owner of the business because this one has board of directors, it has manager, it has advisor. But if it's a one-man business, if the business collapses, it means you also collapse, and you don't want that. Okay, so they have advantages and disadvantages, but based on what we are talking about, it's good to start from a one-man business. As a matter of fact, I started like that too, also, but I didn't stay long there before I moved it up to a limited liability and then increased the share capital. Okay, so start from there. It's not bad, but make sure that you have a vision. That's what we talk about, vision. You have where you are going for the business, and you immediately after some time, as the business is doing well, you quickly move out, because if it's a one-man business, there are very few investors that will be interested in joining you, because if anything happens to their money, they cannot take you, they cannot sue you, they cannot, they cannot sue the company. Or as they are suing the company, they are suing you, and as they are suing you, people are saying, you come and lock him up because the man ate 20 million. So they want to be able to separate you from your business, and you can't do that if it's a one-man business. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Let me quickly move down to this question from from Mr. Ibikunle. On it says, talking about partnership, how would you suggest partners measure their contribution for sharing equity? And also, can you please explain how equity can be shared with investors, especially when one have partner and we are as well hoping to get higher investors in the future? That's one question. Then the second one says, talking about a tech Indian hacker that has different products and seeking investors, whether or not the products are in the same domain, how best can such establishments be structured, especially when each product is self-sustainable? Should each product have its company registered?
Okay, so let me answer the first question, and then the second question is quite long. We'll need to read that again when I finish answering the first question. Good. All right, so I want to say something. You see, when as the business grows, like I said, it's better to be it's better to have a part of a multi-billion business than have 100% of a local or 10 business. But having said that, what I wanted to hear was the question of how do you share equity when people come together to start a business, to do a business. Now, when you get to this level in business, you have to involve experts. I will not be able to provide that advice, that counsel through the phone, because we need to look at sometimes, especially the people who are involved, sometimes the people who are involved in the business, there's a way that you can quantify your input. Number one, you were the one that brought up because this is one of the challenges that startup have. Entrepreneurs, they have the concept, they have the everything, but these people that have money just bring in money, and then they want to, because they see the potential in that business, they want to take over everything. There should be a way that your idea, your concept, your drive, your everything is quantified and allocated a share of the business. As a matter of fact, there should be a part of the business that is for you. That is why you can't just, but all of this, it takes experts who are in that field to be able to determine that for you. You can say, okay, the share that I want to give out of my business is 49. And why it's 49 is because you must always be the highest shareholder. Okay, so that's why even Nigeria, when they say, okay, NNPC, Nigerian government have 41%. Okay, we want to divest 20% of our investment in Dangote. Initially, they said Nigerian government have 47. Later, they said, we don't even know what is what. I don't want to go into all of that now. But the point I'm trying to make is that initially, before the business scales up, you must discuss with an expert who will look at your involvement and be able to quantify your input in terms of your knowledge, your technical input, your innovative input. All of this cannot be quantified in terms of money. Okay, so you can say, okay, I want to give out everything I'm giving out in this business for others to come in is just 40% of the business. I'm going to keep 60%. This 60% represents my intellectual capacity, my input, my drive, my everything, and I'm still going to work as the CEO of the company. I'm going to still work as a CEO, and as the CEO, I'll be remunerated from the company. But when we're looking at in terms of the share capital that belongs to me is 60%. When you have experts, that's their work. They will sit down and find a way to allot this 60% to you, and then the 40%, they quantify it in monetary terms, and like, okay, the investor, if you are coming in with this amount of money, it's going to give you 20% of this business. If you are coming in with this volume of money, it's going to give you only 5% of this business. If you are coming in with, so you must have the overall business, what is the share capital? How much is your investment in that business worth? Not only in terms of the money that you have brought in, but all the other things like that I mentioned that are intangible, you can't quantify them in monetary terms. And then they will allot that share to you that is untouchable. Then the rest, maybe 40%, 45%, 48%, 49%, you can now share it. And then later, if you need more money, it is those shares that people can buy. And then sometimes a time will come, you want to divest some of the shares. You're going to say, okay, out of your 51%, I don't want to be the highest shareholder again. I want to sell 20% off and keep 31%. That 21%, because I had part of the question was, okay, later as the business grows, how do you know what volume of share to distribute to other people? Out of the 51% that you are keeping, they will quantify it, they will monetize it, and then determine the worth, and then that will be sold out to shareholders. And the time comes, you said you can even completely sell off that business and say, okay, my remaining 30% or 31%, I want to. That's how they make money in the US. They have a business, they build the business to a level, and then completely sell the business out. And they make their money and then go back, use that money and start another business from the beginning. Okay, I hope I am able to answer that. So, but the bottom line is get experts. That's not my field. I also will need expert input and advice if I have a situation like that. So get experts, and they are there all over. We call them NSE, Nigerian Stock Exchange, NSE,
Yes.
NSE.
And
Yes, and there are experts, financial advisors who are vast in all of these things. They'll be able to advise you appropriately. So sometimes you may need to pay money to get some of these counsels, some of these counsels. So you need to pay an advisor, you need to pay someone to be able to, you need to pay an advisor to be able to get the information that you require, the details that you require. Thank you. But that's not my area actually. So I won't be able to advise you fully on that line.
okay, thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your time. And to every other person who would like to apologize because of our time. This is past 4 p.m. I'll be taking the last question, but this is what we'll do. Be rest assured that every of your questions will be answered. I'm dropping a link on the group chat for you to become an EDFRICA, and from there you can get, for those who had asked us about the slides, about the recording of the meeting, yes, you can get them. So just go to the chat box. I've dropped links for you where you can become an EDFRICA, links to our Facebook, our social media platforms, and our WhatsApp community where we communicate with everyone who is an EDFRICA. So by joining those, that's becoming an EDFRICA, and as well joining our WhatsApp community, be rest assured that we'll get to answer every of your questions there. We'll get them across to our facilitator today. So he sends us the answers and we ensure to pass them across to you. We are very sorry we have to take just one last question, and we'll have to bring the whole webinar to an end today. It's just for us to save our time. We are just past 2 hours, and we know that just give our facilitators some time to invest as well, because we need to attend to other personal things. Yes, the network really did a thing on us, and that's why we had to drag this much. So we sincerely apologize to every one of you. But please just do follow those links that has been shared on the platform. And please, before we go, we'd like to hear something from you to some of the few things you have learned from this webinar. Apologies for the noise. It's raining in my area, so that's why you have that noise. So we'd love to hear one or two things from you as well. You can drop them in the chat box. Some of the few things you have learned about EDFRICA, some few things you'd love to say to EDFRICA or to our facilitator for today's webinar. Please drop them in the chat box while I go through the last question that our facilitator will be taking for today. Mr. Peter, sorry, we'll send your second question to him. I would like to just send a fresh question to him so he can help us answer while other ones can come on. Okay, sir. This last question says, how can a civil servant engage fully into business as entrepreneur, or does he have to resign first? Is it possible for a startup to attract investors or grants since it doesn't have any previous structure or financial books of record? I don't know if you heard me, sir.
Yes, I heard you. Sorry, come again with the first question.
Okay, the first one, the person said, how can a civil servant engage fully in business? Does the person have to resign or engage in business while still working as a civil servant?
Okay, so let's hold. No, hold on. Let me answer that. You see, we go into business to solve a problem, not to make money. We don't go into business to make money, and I emphasize that enough. There must be a problem that you are solving. So if you are a civil servant and you solve a problem that is persisting and pertinent in your area, and you have the wherewithal to solve that problem and make a certain markup for yourself, it's good you start while you are still working. But be sure that what you are doing is legal and legitimate, and then it's also not affecting your work. Because you see, sometimes what you sow is what you reap. If you are stealing your employer's time to do your own business, you are sowing a negative seed for yourself in the future. Okay, so if it's not affecting your business, I don't know what the civil service rules talks about serving and this, but I think this is my opinion actually. I'm not sure if that's what it is. If you are working as a civil servant or somewhere else entirely, don't allow your business to conflict, because there will be conflict of interest. If the business gets to the level that it is affecting your inputs where you are working, whether it's for government or for another person or for another organization, there's a conflict of interest there, then you have to resign. But I will not advise you to resign immediately and start your business, because you see, business, when business starts up, it doesn't start working immediately. So you can start while you are still working, but make sure that there is no conflict of interest. Make sure that you are not cheating your employer, because you are sowing a negative seed that will affect your own business later. All right. So still continue your work. Maybe when you close from work, you can face your enterprise or your business that you are doing, and be growing it. The reason why I said that is because businesses takes time to grow. When you give birth to a child, the child does not start talking immediately. You will feed a business before the business starts feeding you. And the way you feed the business is what determines how the business feeds you. So when you are still working, you can leverage on your salary and your income to do other things and be feeding the business. So you are building the business, because when you stop work and you resign or you retire and face your business, and the business structures have not been consolidated, it can collapse. When the child is still growing, if the child does not have the required nutrients, the required attention, the child can die. May our children and child not die. You understand? So you can still be working while you are paying attention to your own enterprises. But of course, I can't say this too much. Make sure you are not cheating your employer. So everything you are doing is outside. After you have started, there's no conflict of interest. When you have built the business to a level that you are sure that if I give 100% attention to this business, I will not lack. Don't forget, we also have dependents. And in Nigeria, every one person have not less than 3, 4, 5 dependents. Okay, so you must make sure that this business can take care of your basic needs. If you are sure that yes, this business, you have grown into a level that it can take care of your basic needs, then you can resign from the work that you are doing. You know that yes, this thing, it can stand on its own. All right. So I believe I have attempted that, but don't resign when the business is not consolidated yet. You put yourself in trouble, you put your family, your wife, your children in trouble, and you also put the business in trouble, because there will be too much pressure on the business and the other source of income has stopped. But if you are assured that you have grown the business to a level where if you put in your 100%, something will come in to take care of all your other needs, why not? You can give it a shot. So Mr. Adewale, can you read the second part of the question for me? The second part.
Okay, let me read the second part, sir. It says, is it possible for a startup to attract investors or grants since it doesn't have a previous structure of financial books of records?
Yes, I answered that one. You will do a feasibility study, not a feasibility study and business plan, but tell the investor that it is a startup. Don't tell them it is an existing business when it's a startup. Let them know it is. And like I also said, I've said this before, you must have done something that was successful in your hand, and then you want to divest into this, or you want to go into this as a startup. If you have not done anything before, then you need to prove to me that I'm not giving you Christmas money. Because if you don't have, if you have not done something successful before and you want to start something and you tell me you want to do a startup, I will be a bit, it will not be, except if I'm your brother, your sister, or your father, before I can put money into something that is not existing and hope that it will start. You need to prove to me that you can. So it's good you use your own money to start first. That's how I will answer that question, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Like I said earlier, that would be the last question we'll be taking on this call. This is almost 2 hours, 30 minutes while we started this webinar. But please, if you have other questions, please you can use the links that I drop. Please join, become an EDFRICA. That way, it gives you access to other materials that we have. You can get to see other webinars that we've had. You can see them, get access to materials, like I said. Then also, you can also send in your questions to our community WhatsApp group chat, where we can send to our facilitator, and we can get you answers. So please, like I said, please, you can drop some few words for us, for our facilitator. Some of the few things you have learned, please drop them. Thank you. I can see your hands. Thank you. Thank you. Help us say thank you to our facilitator, Mr. Jonathan. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank
We
you,
really
sir.
appreciate you. We really appreciate you. Thank you very much, Mr. Jonathan. We are grateful for this time. You've spent close to about 2 hours plus with us. We are grateful. Thank you very much, sir. I, as a person, I have learned a lot from this section. My eyes have been opened to see, okay, these are the things that I need to do. And I'm sure that our participants as well have learned wonderful things. Just like Ibuku said, that it was an interesting discussion. So on behalf of the participants and on behalf of EDFRICA as a whole, we're saying thank you very much for this great section. Thank you for your time. We are very grateful to you. And so to our wonderful participants as well, thank you very much. Thank you for sparing your time to be with us today. Thank you for coming on the call. Thank you for willing to learn. And I'm sure that you've all learned something to help you expand your business. And from now, I'm sure that you can start calling in investors. You can see, you've seen a better way to position yourself to attract investors to your business. And for those who wish to start fresh business, you've seen the right way to position as well to start attracting investors and those who would love to come and partner with you. So we say thank you to you as well. To our MD and CEO, Dr. Emmanuel Odumosi in absentia, thank you very much, sir, for this opportunity. And to other staff members of EDFRICA, thank you. My name is still Adewale Kehinde, the media and communication lead for EDFRICA. So on this note, we say thank you very much, and we'd love to see you join our team, to join our community, where you get to share a lot of things with you. So for now, that will be all from us. Thank you very much, and we wish you a very beautiful weekend from this end. Bye, everyone.